Without 9/11, we wouldn't have the Wiggles.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the show, people. Welcome to the show. Eat my shorts.
So here is to conversation.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
All right, welcome to the Cash Exchange, guys.
What up?
All right, your through line today is what do Tamagotchis, bucket hats, and fanny packs have in common?
Stuff making a comeback. Stuff from a simpler time, a much better time.
Stuff from a simpler time, yeah. That is...
The era of, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I cannot tell you how hard I was trying to throw that particular line into this episode. I assumed it was going to come up naturally at some point. I didn't think it'd be this early on, but...
Well, what was his other one? Depends on what your definition of is.
What a fun time in this country. Okay, so I will say that I did make an oopsie when it came to the through line today, because fanny packs were from the 80s. In my head, it was just like a 90s thing, but my through line today were that these three are things that were made in the 90s but are still on the rise. Also things that were made in the 90s still on the rise. The two of us.
Heyo.
So today's episode, I was trying to decide which way I wanted to go, if it was going to be like a generational conversation or an early 90s, late 90s thing. Mm-hmm. Because you were born in 92. I was born in 99. Not that I experienced all that much of the 90s, but I still think I understand most of it.
I think that a big part of that, a big, line to where you can differentiate is whether you remember 9/11 or not. There's no way you remember firsthand 9/11.
No, of course not.
Because you were what?
2.
Yeah. Not even. No, you were.
I was 2, almost 3.
Yeah, almost 3, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't remember it at all.
Wild times.
So when I was researching this video, I was watching someone else's just deep dive into 90s culture and stuff like that. And they were like, it's kind of blurry where you would consider like the start and the end of the 90s. And so they were talking about how the start of the 90s could have been like when the internet kind of hit its stride, or whenever like there were a couple of other examples that they gave that I don't remember at this point, but that they said the end of the 90s could have been like Y2K, or it could have been 9/11 or Columbine, because that was also in 99.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about how these like the kind of beginning and ending of this decade is a little bit fuzzier than we think it is, because there's always going to be a little bit of bleed in from the previous and to the next. So the way that I kind of wanted to structure it was to do a early versus late 90s.
Okay.
And I wanted to start out with movies. Because I believe that the late 90s movies are where it's at.
Late 90s. Okay.
So with the late 90s, you got more of the rom-coms kind of stuff, and more of the teen movies. So you got like Clueless, 10 Things I Hate About You, which, for the record, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I miss Heath Ledger.
That's based off of
Taming of the Shrew. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one it's one of my comfort movies. It has been for at least a decade now. Mm-hmm. I think it was probably one of the last DVDs that I bought. I got it on Blu-ray on the anniversary of it coming out. I miss DVDs.
I don't miss DVDs. I miss Blu-rays.
Why don't you miss DVDs? What's the difference in your view?
The lack of quality.
Oh.
And I mean, I like the fact that you could physically own it and that it would be yours forever.
Yeah.
Until it was unusable.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's such a huge differentiation between DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah. Were you guys ever able to find a VHS player?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, thrift store.
I'm surprised you didn't start out that route.
It was pretty early on.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked online like Amazon, and they're ridiculous.
Well, sure, because
now they're like a specialty item. And I mean, you're looking at like $300 for a VCR. But we found one, It's okay. I don't really know if it's the VHS or the VHS player that is the problem, but
Okay.
there's services that you can go to that is probably going to be another present at some point, where you can get it all digitized, or you can just
Oh,
buy
cool,
the
okay.
digitizer yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the service can enhance what's going on because
It'll
the,
just pixelate it.
the ones we have, it's a bunch of family stuff, and it'll like just cut out. It'll go to static, and then it'll come back, go to static, come back. Sometimes the audio tracking's off.
Okay.
But no, all of our memories are on camcorder cassettes that I have yet to get my hands on.
Hmm.
But I think that would be a nice thing to have at some point.
Yeah.
Just got to get a hold of it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. See what the home movies at the
Yeah, we would have
family look like.
we invite everyone over and have a little
Yeah, we're
reminiscing
gonna.
session. I don't know.
I've always wanted to hold someone hostage while we do like a slideshow
slideshow.
of a vacation. I've seen it in every show from the early 2000s and like the 90s and stuff. I've seen it in The Simpsons 15
like when
times.
Patty and Selma bring
I
the
so
carousel.
badly want to subject somebody to that.
Yeah.
I don't take enough pictures for one thing for that to make sense.
Who would we? I mean, I take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
So I could subject you to that.
That's fine. I think in the case that I did a vacation and like wanted to have one of these hostage situations, I would also just take pictures of the worst things. This is my feet on the tram getting from my car to the theme park.
Like this is when we went to Colorado Springs, I took the fancy camera.
Yeah.
And so we ended up taking probably like 200 something pictures.
Okay.
And they're real good, like high res pictures. So
Yeah.
but you do run into, okay, well this is a picture of a thing. This is a picture 2 centimeters to the right of that thing. This is another picture 2 centimeters down from that thing.
You want to make a complete image in your head.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to get the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But no, that's on the to-do list. I just need to get access to the equipment
Sure.
that I do not have access to at the present moment.
Maybe one of these days. Is it expensive to digitize VHSs? Have you looked into like the pricing and stuff on it?
I think you send them away. I think you can send
Okay.
like 5 for maybe like $60-$70.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought.
So nothing crazy. I mean, I think we have maybe 10 or 15 here. But there's also things that you can buy that
So like we'll digitize
will
it for you.
digitize it for you, yeah.
Okay. I think the only like VHS that I specifically miss is the orange Rugrats one. The Rugrats in Go to Paris? I don't remember what it's called.
Rugrats in Paris, something like that.
I don't know. The Paris Rugrats movie, the like orange VHS was my favorite thing growing up.
You also had a lot of white VHSs. Those were Barney.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I mean, they were hand-me-downs. I think the Rugrats one was actually like mine.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think I was really a Barney kid.
Now, Barney had made its run by the time you were a toddler. You were real into the Wiggles.
The Wiggles are also making a comeback.
But isn't it just one of the original guys?
I don't know.
And
I
just
don't
some
remember who
chumps.
the original Wiggles are. I don't know if it's just one Wiggle left.
There was the
There-
Asian.
Correct?
There was the tall one.
Mm-hmm.
There was the one that looked like he was probably an accountant before he became a Wiggle. And then there was the one that, I don't know, I guess the hot one of the group.
Aside from the Asian one, you could also be describing the cast of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That's
The
true.
tall one, the one that looked like they were an accountant before this, and the hot one.
Who's the hot one?
In this situation, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, yeah.
It's not.
Ryan
Proops.
Stiles is the tall one.
And then Colin
And Colin
Mockery
was the
looks like
accountant.
he's still an accountant. But yeah, no. So the Wiggles are making a comeback. They're all over TikTok right now. There's a female Wiggle now.
Mm,
Progressive.
it's called a jiggle. The 3 wiggles and the jiggle. Oh.
Was the Wiggles a 90s show? I think the
No.
Wiggles- No.
No, early 2000s. I want to say, what, like 2002?
Dolly Parton was on the Wiggles? Active from 91.
Okay, but when did they get the show? Because I'm pretty sure it was like a touring group before they got the show. Yummy, yummy.
Fruit salad still slaps.
IMDb to the rescue.
Anthony Field and Jeff Fatt were members of the Cockroaches, a Sydney pop band known for their good time R&B material. What?
Okay, well, this says... Nice. So on IMDb, it says that the show ran from 1993 to 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it says it ran for 6 seasons. And then if you go down to the list of episodes, the first one is 1998, but then it says it aired September 1st, 2002.
Okay.
So according to IMDb, it's 2002.
I've been like skimming their Wikipedia, and the beginning of this paragraph is the Wiggles' popularity in the U.S. increased, quote, in the shell-shocked weeks after the terrorist attacks on New York City in 2001.
So if it weren't for 9/11, we wouldn't have the Wiggles.
I think if it weren't for 9/11, we wouldn't have the Wiggles. Also, if there is a promo statement, an audio bite from this episode, it's without 9/11, we wouldn't have the Wiggles.
I think 9/11 makes as prominent of an appearance in these episodes as M. Night Shyamalan presents Avatar: The Last Airbender did in our earlier episodes.
Yeah. It's been a minute since I've
Made reference.
made reference.
We got to bring it back. We should have talked about it in the last episode, except I don't know if it crosses the threshold into it's good. So
No.
I don't know. Did you ever watch?
So bad
did you
it's
ever
bad.
finish Battlefield Earth?
No. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go back and watch that movie. I don't like John Travolta. I don't like Spaceship Beat Boop.
That's from Family Guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching Family Guy while I was in a hotel last week, and that came up, and then that reference finally clicked.
Yeah. We are about love and spaceships and beat boop. I think about it all the time.
Wild tangent. I don't even remember where we were.
We were on movies.
Movies.
We started out with VHS tapes, and now we're here.
There we go.
But yeah, I believe that the late 90s were better movies because we got all of the like teen rom-coms. Got Clueless, She's All That, 10 Things I Hate About You. We got Matrix. I think we had Pulp Fiction. I think that was late 90s. I might be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
We got Titanic, which was 90s.
I think Reservoir Dogs was 94, and that was before Pulp Fiction. So, yeah, you're probably right.
And, yeah. When I was doing, like, looking into the most, like, quintessentially 90s movies, I think, or the big, like, cultural touch points when it came to movies, there was also Home Alone for the early part. Home Alone, Silence of the Lambs, Jurassic Park, and that's when Disney had their, like, second heyday.
Renaissance.
Yeah. So they had like Pocahontas and Mulan and Beauty and the Beast and all that.
You know what the number one grossing movie for 1992 was?
What?
Aladdin.
You know what the highest grossing movie of 99 was?
Phantom Menace.
Unfortunately.
Already looked it up. That's a good movie.
It's fine.
What's his name? Lloyd. What's his name? Jake Lloyd.
Who?
Anakin.
Oh, okay.
He went through some stuff because of that role, but he also was not good in that role. He also was in Jingle All the Way and was just as annoying in that role too.
That man is 36 now.
He is, and he looks like Anakin, but if Anakin had just been beaten senselessly for like the last 15 years, same face, wispy mustache.
He looks like if Anakin only listened to Semisonic. This man looks like he originated the meme, and here's Wonderwall.
It's rough. But hey, hopefully he has come out of the other side of his the difficulties that he faced, and hopefully he's better for it now. So shout out to Jake Lloyd.
I have no idea what difficulties he faced.
Oh, he had to move schools because he was bullied so relentlessly.
Really?
For his role in Phantom Menace.
Oh. Okay.
But it also didn't help that he was also sharing a movie with Jar Jar Binks, who was also one of the worst movie characters of all time. But you would think that might help him out because he was worse than Anakin. At least Anakin had a story. Jar Jar Binks was just the worst.
I I have a love-hate relationship with movies that have like a character that you can tell they're just like super psyched about making merch for. They don't have
Mhm.
like an actual plot point or anything. They're just like there and they want to be a fun toy.
Like the what are those things in the newer Star Wars? They kind of look like Furbies. I don't remember what they're called, but they're like these little alien animal thingies.
Yeah.
Look like little Furbies, and they were 100% only in the movie so that there could be a toy.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking the Minions. Because in the first Despicable Me, like, I'm pretty sure they were only the way that they were so that they could be solid merch. And then it took off even better than they expected, so much so that they have
Yeah,
movies and rides,
But-
and you have
but-
a fart gun from one of them.
they also had they also had a part of the plot. They were
Sure,
also
yeah.
part of the plot.
I know I brought this on myself. Is it banana or fart?
No, I haven't dared try the fart one yet.
It just smells like popcorn.
Well, okay, yeah. I don't know how much you have to drain the tank before you just get popcorn flavored banana, but let's find out. Keep talking. I'll
Do you think you could just like put vape juice in that thing?
maybe. I mean, it's the same concept. I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
For those of you listening, it's a toy version of the fart blaster that's in Despicable Me, and it comes in scents fart and banana. The fart one smells like buttered popcorn jelly beans, and it shoots little like smoke rings.
And
And it reminds me of every D-bag who vaped
and
in the 2010s.
we haven't tried the fart one yet, so stand by.
I'm about to experience this for science and for podcasts. I don't like that this thing is revving up.
Now listen to this. All right. We're getting the gases built up. Oh, we're ready. All right. And boom goes the dynamite. You smell it?
No?
That hit you too high? Oh, that hit you in the nostrils.
That one smelled like cupcakes. It didn't even smell like...
How was that one? That one hit you right in the nose.
It still smells really sweet. This is going to be the fart one. Just straight.
Let's get her charged up. Doesn't smell good, but
It's so funny to watch. Just get hit in the face and it just goes up your nose.
I don't know. I think the fart scent was all hype. The banana smells like banana.
Yeah. Snozberries. Huh. Yeah, no, it smells fine.
It's going to make a great prop whenever we get our video going.
If you say something dumb, you just get
Just
fart
fart
blasted.
Oh. So I kind of went a different route. I did less. Oh my, it's smoky in here. Looking like a JRE episode. I went a slightly different route. I did biggest movies from 92, biggest movies from 99.
Okay.
That's how I knew Phantom Menace was number one.
Oh, so you did like specifically just our years?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going early and late.
So next to Aladdin as number one in 92, you know, the second one, guest starred, cameoed a future president.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And then the third one, Batman Returns.
Okay.
So that's what, Batman with Keaton?
Yeah.
Was the last one? Yeah, because he was in Batman and Batman Returns, and then after that it was Batman Forever.
Forever with Clooney, right?
No.
No?
No. Kilmer.
Kilmer, okay.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. To the Iceman.
It's a good old Doc Holliday. At 99, so we have Phantom Menace, Sixth Sense, our boy M. Night in his heyday, well before
All right, that was a good movie.
old.
I'll give you that.
What do you think his turning point was?
What do you mean?
Do you like when did it all go to hell? You think it was after Signs?
I think he did.
Well, Split was good. I like
Sure,
Split.
yeah. I think that Split was good though because of Anya Taylor-Joy and James McAvoy. I don't think it had anything to do with the plot. I think it was because he did such a phenomenal job
Yeah.
as every character that he played that I don't think that the movie... I think the movie could have absolutely no plot, and I think generally speaking it kind of does, and it still would be great.
Yeah.
Because it was just like the link. It was the bridge between Unbreakable and Glass.
Mm-hmm. I did not like Glass.
I didn't watch it.
I really wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Did not. Right after Sixth Sense, Toy Story 2,
Okay.
which, in my opinion, is the second best Toy Story.
Okay.
After Toy Story
3?
4. 3. Yeah, not 4. No,
Ew,
not
what?
4. Sorry, 3. I meant 3. Yes.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you.
Okay.
Cheese and crackers.
I will say, Toy Story 4 is a gorgeous movie. The animation on it is absolutely phenomenal. The movie itself did not need to be made.
No.
It's real stupid.
No.
Does not need to be a fifth one.
That's another something for the sake of making it a toy. Forky.
Yeah.
Literally just trash, and they made a toy out of it and said, "Look how cute this trash is. Buy it, please."
They wanted to break the fourth wall. They wanted to make a meta joke in the age of Deadpool.
Oh, you want to buy trash? Well, here's actual trash.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Lotso Huggin' Bear, on the other hand, fantastic merch. He smelled like strawberries.
He did. Max had a Lotso. I don't know what happened to it, but
He was such a good villain.
yeah. So I mean, it's interesting that there's a 7-year gap. So movies that came out when I was born, and then movies that came out when you were born, and they're pretty similar. I mean, you got Batman and then Star Wars, which essentially are just superhero movies.
Yeah.
You got Aladdin and Toy Story, and then you have Home Alone 2 and The Sixth Sense. I'm sure there's some sort of through line there.
Has Kevin McAllister been dead this
Kevin
whole
was
time?
dead the whole time. See?
That's why they left him behind, is because he didn't exist.
So
He
not much
ran with it.
changes through the decade as far as movie trends.
Sure. As far as like the lasting impact, do you think that like the earlier the later had more staying power?
I think probably the later, because I think that, you mean as far as movies are concerned?
Mhm.
Yeah, because the early 90s movies were real art house, real artsy fartsy, and just, they were trying to make up for all of the cheesy, like, horn dog stuff of the 80s. And so they tried to do a 180 and say, no, this isn't a movie, this is a film.
Okay.
And then as the decade went on, they started getting away from that and started making like more enjoyable, longer lasting things. Because like Batman Returns versus Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. I mean, Batman Returns is like real gritty and takes itself way too seriously. It's like if they saw like The Dark Knight and they were like, no, we need to amp this up.
Like the Batman?
Yes. It was like, yeah. But Phantom Menace is like, hey, we're cool guys with laser swords, and we're just going to slice down people. And also there's a bunch of talk about Senate hearings and votes of no confidence.
I talk a lot of trash on the fact that every movie nowadays is a prequel, sequel, or reboot, but I didn't realize how invasive it was even in the 90s. You've got Home Alone 2, Toy Story 2,
Batman Returns,
and The
Star
Phantom Menace,
Wars
which is
1, which is actually the 4th.
Yeah. Like almost all of these are reboots, sequels, or prequels.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would be interested to know
Points to Aladdin.
what the most profitable movie from the 90s was that was not a prequel, sequel, or remake?
Titanic.
Okay,
It's
what
one of
about
the-
what about one that's an original story? Like someone made
Yeah.
from whole cloth. By the way, don't you think it's weird that they used that tragedy as a jumping off point to tell the story about people that never existed?
I think a lot of things about the Titanic are weird. The fact that we're still revisiting that after 13 years? 'Cause it was 1912.
1912, yeah.
The fact that we're still revisiting the Titanic, like, let them rest. Let it die.
Well,
Turning it into a romantic movie is bizarre enough.
time is about to take care of that for us, because apparently it's like in the next 50 years it's going to be completely disintegrated.
Yeah. Also, for the record, Jurassic Park. Oh, well, that's
Based on a book.
based on a book. Independence Day?
Yeah. I mean, I think
I
that
don't
would
think
be the
that's
most
based on anything.
original story so far,
So the top 10 are Titanic,
based off an actual event.
based on an actual event, Phantom Menace,
Sequel, prequel,
prequel, Jurassic Park, book,
based on a book.
Independence Day,
As far as we know,
Lion King, Hamlet,
yeah.
Forrest Gump, book.
Maybe Independence Day is like loosely based on War of the Worlds. Yeah, just a reimagining.
Sure, yeah. I would still give it the point. But yeah, Forrest Gump, book, Sixth Sense.
Original story.
Walt Disney? The Sixth Sense is a Disney movie?
Yeah, it was. They owned not Miramax. That's the one we're not allowed to talk about.
But Dogma is owned back by the right people again.
Yeah. Touchstone. Disney bought Touchstone.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where Disney released like their more adult movies that they couldn't put under the Disney header.
Okay. All right, and then 8, 9, and 10 are The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Men in Black, and Armageddon.
Armageddon is one of those weird ones. What was it? Armageddon?
That's
I feel like it's one of
Bruce
those.
Willis, right?
Yes, Ben Affleck, Billy Bob Thornton. I feel like that's one of those ones that had another movie that was exactly like it come out at the same time, like The Core and Deep Impact. No, maybe Deep Impact is the Armageddon-like movie.
No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits.
Yeah, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
No, because there was two. I'm pretty sure there was two movies where there was an asteroid about to hit the Earth and that they had to do something about it. And the other two movies were they had to go to the center of the Earth to plant dynamite or something to re-spin the core, some mumbo jumbo like that.
Okay. All right, and on that note, let's move on to music.
Okay. I didn't do anything for music.
No.
This one's all you.
So the earlier part of the 90s, I feel like this is where it splits a little bit more because movies are kind of consistent throughout the entire decade, but I think music changed a little bit more. So like in the early 90s, you get the release of Nevermind.
Mm-hmm.
So you get more of the like grungy kind of music. You get Nirvana, Pearl Jam. You get
Well, that was all that was in response to like the hair metal stuff from the 80s that kids were too cool for. Yeah.
Okay. And then you get kind of the basis for like the 90s version of like pop, R&B, and hip hop because you get Dr. Dre's Chronic. This is when like in the early 90s is where like Whitney Houston gets her like biggest claim to fame. And then once you
because Bodyguard.
Right.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah. Which do you think have you heard Dolly Parton sing that song?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it should have been a Whitney or a Dolly song? I mean, I know like Whitney Houston is like known for it, but
I think that they both brought a different. I think they're both sending different messages for the same song.
okay, that's fair.
So Dolly Parton wrote that song for Porter Wagner. Yeah. Whenever they stopped working together, I don't really know what the breaking point was, but I know that she wrote that song for Porter Wagner, and just like hers is a lot. I don't want to say sadder, but her version comes across as more of a friendship not lasting or like a partnership not lasting than a relationship not lasting. I definitely think that Whitney
Okay.
Houston's version is definitely a song about a relationship that's ending.
It's an interesting take. I'll have to re-listen to both of those.
But no, Whitney Houston definitely made more money for Dolly Parton off that song than than she ever did with that song.
Yeah. Probably funded Dollywood.
Probably.
I mean, Dolly Parton is still an icon one way or the other, but once we get to the late 90s, in the same kind of style as like the movies went, how there was more of a like teen centric thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get more of the kind of teen music. So you get Britney Spears, NSYNC, all of the like the boy bands. So NSYNC, Backstreet, New Kids,
98 Degrees.
98 Degrees, yeah.
Which I couldn't.
I don't think I've ever listened to 98 Degrees.
I think "Give Me One More Night," I think is what it's called. That's the only 98 Degree song I know.
Yeah. One of my friends, her mom is obsessed with New Kids on the Block. Still, I don't understand that one. I don't particularly care for the Wahlbergs as a whole. Their burgers are meh.
Wow.
I stand by it.
I've never had a Wahlburger.
It's gimmicky. I tried the actual ones in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I also tried the ones in Vegas. Both solidly.
Do they taste the same? Or is there like the chain vibe that comes to the Vegas one?
It all tastes like chain burgers, but very expensive because it has Wahlberg in the name.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's fine. It's just it's not anything special. But they do have a bunch of like Wahlberg themed art on the walls, so you can tell that they're like trying really hard to just be gimmicky.
Mm-hmm.
It's run by Paul Wahlberg, I think.
Paul Wahlberg?
No, not run by Paul
The
Wall.
Iceman? Paul Wahlberger?
God. But yeah, no, they're solidly a meh family.
Solidly average.
Solidly average. When it in the like teen pop stuff, are they actually making a Britney Spears like a movie based on her book? Because I feel like that's pretty messed up. I keep hearing things about it, and I keep forgetting to like actually look into it to see if it's really happening.
Well, if we discuss it here, then much like the Michael biography picture, we might have just spoken it into existence.
I don't want to. I don't like the idea of that being a movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all these things. Like, I'm sure it's going to be whitewashed, just like everything else was. Just like the Elvis movie was, just like the Michael Jackson one will definitely be.
Yeah.
It's going to be, hey, you remember when this thing happened?
Yeah.
Well, it's in a movie now. And, I mean, how up to current day do you think they're going to go? Do you think they're going to have some actress reenacting her crazy-ass Instagram posts?
Maria River Red or whatever it is.
Huh?
That's her other Instagram?
Maria Everred?
River Red.
River Red? Huh.
I think that's what it is.
I'm not very up to date on my Britney Spears stuff. I just see her stuff on Twitter and people saying, "Is Britney okay?" No, she's not okay. She hasn't been okay since '99.
Yeah. Yeah, her Instagram name is Maria River Red. That's not what I was actually going to look up, but
no, in the '90s we also had like a weird influx of like mainstream Latin music too. And then once that got semi-popular, then you had bands like 98 Degrees, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC all do like Latin-inspired songs. Because like Give Me One More Night,
yeah,
part of that's sung in Spanish, and it's a very Latin vibe song.
Okay.
The Call, I think, by the Backstreet Boys, about his girlfriend calling him and saying, "No, I'm gonna be out late tonight. Don't wait up." And then he's out cheating on her. That's also a Latin song.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's an NSYNC one. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But I mean, that was all based off of like Mark Anthony, Ricky Martin,
Yeah.
Enrique Iglesias, all that stuff.
Was Enrique Iglesias 90s? I thought he was 2000s.
I'm pretty sure Hero came out in like late 90s. Probably like 97, 98.
Also, circling back, there is going to be a Britney Spears movie based on The Woman in Me.
Mm,
It's being directed by the guy who did Wicked and Crazy Rich Asians.
okay. Neat.
Oh, Britney is expected to be very involved in the film. That's interesting. I'm curious how it's going to play out, but I hope they do the story justice.
Who's going to be Jamie Lynn?
It's going to be,
They should get someone
damn, I
like...
was going to make a South Park joke, and I can't remember who it is. Sally Struthers.
That's the way I was going to go, too. I was thinking like Honey Boo Boo.
God, I tried to read her book, and it's so unbelievably stupid.
Honey Boo Boo?
Jamie Lynn Spears.
Oh.
It reads like she used a voice to text feature instead of actually like typing things out. She uses more y'alls than I have seen in my entire life. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. Did you read
Do you think any of that has to do with all the blood rushing to her chin? Is that why she's not all there upstairs? The last video I saw of her was her and her daughter. I think they're at like some cheerleading competition or something.
Yeah.
And that thing could cut glass.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw anything about Jamie Lynn Spears. I mean, I'm sure it was like right after The Woman in Me came out, but
I think that there was talks about a Zoe 101 reboot.
they made it.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Is she in it?
Zoe 102.
Is she in it?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a wedding for someone that was on that show.
So maybe that's why she made a little bit of a comeback there.
I don't know. I'm interested to see, like I said, how it plays out. But everything about that whole story is just so sad.
Yeah. But hey, get that bag. Make that money. Who's going to be K-Fed?
I hope that Justin Timberlake is Paul Giamatti. That's my dream cast. I hope it ruins the tour. The world tour.
Yeah.
I think stadium tours are on their way out. I think that there's too many celebrities who are just like ruining themselves.
Well, speaking of, I actually wanted to find some way to loop this in. That way it's current. The Katy Perry nonsense.
I am in deep. I am in so deep on all of her ridiculousness.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the Blue Origin stuff. I don't understand the singing in space, taking up space.
Yeah.
I don't understand the coming back and saying I'm an astronaut. I don't understand the saying you don't really know love until you've been above the earth. I don't get whatever's going on her tour. And I also don't get the annoying and pretty offensive Carnival cruises. I think it's Carnival, Royal Caribbean. Something with Orlando Bloom and Drew Barrymore.
What?
Where he's like this refined British man and she's just this bumpkin from America.
Oh, God. What?
You haven't seen these?
No.
They're so rude to Americans and just like a superiority complex for the British in Orlando.
Okay. I will have to look that up.
Let's hold on. Let's
Also,
take a break real quick and I'll pull it up.
Actually, while you're doing that, for the uninitiated, because I am in deep on all of the Katy Perry nonsense, she tried to buy a house out from under nuns, and one of the nuns died in court. Did Katy Perry kill that nun?
Died in court?
Died in court.
So she was there to argue, let me keep my house, and she just keeled over?
Yep. Katy Perry may have killed a nun. She also, there's a thing in California called the Perry Act now because she bought a house from a man who was in the throes of either Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't remember. And his kids, after the man died, tried to get it back from her because he wasn't in his right mind to sell. And they were like, I mean, sorry, like it already went through. So it's Katy Perry's house now. And so now there's a Perry Act that protects elder abuse and protects the elderly and their estate, basically, from being abused by other people.
What kind of house was this that Katy Perry had her eye on it?
I don't know. I don't know that specific thing.
Is it just like some bungalow on the side of the
well, the thing
side
that
of the road?
What she tried to buy from the nuns was a convent.
For what?
She just wanted that convent.
Huh.
Anyways, after this, so Katy Perry just sucks as a human being.
And she's not Catholic, right?
No. I mean, she wasn't buying it to keep it at a convent. But she threw enough money that the diocese had to the diocese got to supersede the nuns.
Oh, she bought them off.
She tried to.
Huh.
And the nuns said no, they don't want their, the thing that they had spent 40 years at that point building. They're like, we don't want this to go to her. We want it to be used for something, for the good. And yeah, no.
What about the nuns living there that didn't die?
At that point, I think they had, they were trying to sell it off because the two that actually established it were the ones that were in court, one of the ones that that collapsed. And
do you think Katie saw that as divine intervention? Hey, one down, one to go.
I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, she sucks. A lot of the theories around why the tour is so bizarre, which if you're not familiar, I definitely recommend you look up any of the videos. It's insane.
She has a ring that goes into the crowd and goes from one side of the stage to the other side of the stage, and she does the most awkward jog run, and the dance scene it's something else.
So a couple of the theories that came up whenever I was in deep on TikTok on this one was that originally it was supposed to be a women empowerment themed tour, which is why Women's World came out, and then it got so much backlash that she was like, well, maybe not. And then she did the Blue Origins thing, which she spent an obscene amount of money to do. And then she thought it was going to be a space themed tour because she was an quote unquote astronaut now. And she got so much hate for it that she had to pivot again. And so this is basically what happened when South Park thought that Hillary would win. And so they were just like, well, shit, how do we make a whole plot line out of this? And so the whole tour is just her trying to scramble to make a third thing, which is why she's in a video game, but she's fighting aliens with lightsabers, and it's bizarre. Also, the reason that she's so lethargic and is not really performing, she's just using all of her props to perform for her, is because she's on Ozempic, because it causes lethargy. And apparently there's a lot of speculation that that's why she's not performing in her tour. It's just because she's
zombified.
She's zombified, yeah.
Huh. All right, here it goes.
An MSC cruise isn't just a vacation, it's a holiday full of European style
and all the things Americans love too. Come on, Bloom, I need some buffalo wings. Stat.
There are a ton of football matches.
Games, football games.
Vorrei rigatoni alla matriciana, per favore.
Oh, signora. What he said.
That is a big hat.
It's American. Of course it's big.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
No.
She just wants to dance.
You ready for some adrenaline, Bloom?
I was born ready. How high is that?
So high. Holiday! Was that good?
Dinner jacket.
Dinner t-shirt.
Privacy.
Privacy.
Architecture.
Sharkitecture.
Dude, there's a line.
Gelato.
Froyo.
Football.
Football.
Schedule.
Okay, now you're just doing it on purpose.
What a vacation.
Don't you mean holiday?
My bad.
We should stop now.
Yeah.
Who was that for? Like, isn't this something that they should post on, like, British TV and not here? Because I see this commercial all the time,
Yeah, I've never seen it.
and it is offensive.
Yeah, it offends your gentle American sensibilities.
It's ridiculous. What toys do you remember
Do I remember?
from your childhood?
Oh, from my childhood? Easy bake oven. My easy bake oven. I have an actual oven, so I guess I shouldn't. But
So you don't need to cook your cakes with a light bulb anymore?
I would love to cook a cake. I would love to cook a cake with a light bulb.
I got an easy bake oven for Christmas from Peg one year.
Nice.
It might have been like your first Christmas.
Yeah.
Or maybe right before you were born.
Okay.
Plugged it in. We realized it didn't have a bulb. So she took me to the grocery store on, I don't know, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And we went and bought a bulb, and I made something in it. And then I was using it unsupervised not too long after.
What did you burn?
I got the little, the thing that you push the pan through the other side in.
Yeah.
I got it stuck in there, and it just melted all in it.
That was short-lived.
No, and then after that, probably, I don't know, early 2000s, they came out with a boy version of the Easy Bake Oven. It was called the Queasy Bake.
I remember that.
And you made stuff that was shaped like bugs and worms, and I had one of those too. I don't think I destroyed that one.
No. I actually looked into it the other day to see how much it would cost to buy an Easy Bake Oven. Just for nostalgia reasons, because again, I have an actual oven, but
I was at Walmart in Albuquerque, maybe, and they had an entire end cap full of Easy Bake Ovens that were on clearance sale. If I'd known, I would have gotten you one. The original price on them was like $50. They were marked down to like 30.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is still too much to pay for an Easy Bake Oven.
For a light bulb and a little fake conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the experience.
It is.
I think that your kids would love an Easy Bake Oven.
No, there's no way I would allow that to happen. They'd set the house on fire.
Sure, I believe that. I'm not saying that they wouldn't set the house on fire. I'm saying they would enjoy it in the meantime.
Yeah. Getting a freaking cake batter out of the carpet.
Oh, God. You do it on tile, at least.
But one thing I saw that was interesting is that the top selling toys for 1992, Batman action figures from Batman Returns.
Sure.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. Like, these were the top selling toys.
Yeah.
Like, the big thing on Christmas. And the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
But just 7 years later, so we've completely abandoned the action figures. And now you've got 1999, the Furby was the number one selling toy.
It's not an action figure.
It's not, but I mean, compared to you push a button and his arm may...
Got that kung fu grip.
Yeah. Versus a Furby that you can teach to curse at you.
Do they still make Furbies?
They do, yeah. Number 2, Polaroid iZone camera.
Is it a toy?
It was
I wouldn't
considered
consider
a
that
toy.
a toy.
I don't know. It was the second top selling toy on this list that I saw.
Okay.
And the third one kind of surprised me. It was a Little Red Doll, which kind of looks like a Raggedy Ann doll, but with a smushed face.
A Little Red Doll?
Little Red Doll,
I
yeah.
don't know what that is.
It was the number 3 selling toy, Christmas of 99. And then just for shiz and gigs, number 4 for 1999, we get the action figure doll make the list, and it's Britney Spears.
Oh, okay.
Barbie.
Quick segue on Barbies. Did you see when they made the Wicked dolls and they put the wrong link on the box?
And it was a porn website?
Yeah. I spend way too much time on the internet. Every time we do one of these episodes, I'm reminded of how much time I spend on the internet.
How hard is that to check real quick?
Okay, but they also
You
made...
type in wicked.com. That's all you got to do before you send it to the printer.
For those listening, please don't look up wicked.com.
I don't know. I don't know what the actual website for the movie is now. I mean, usually it's like, if it's a movie, that is also like it'll be. I don't know, I got M Night on the brain, so old. So their website would be something like old the movie old the motion picture.com.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be old.com. Can you imagine what would pop up if you just did old.com?
I feel like I might need to turn my
You got a
what is it,
VPN
the
to get out of Texas.
safety
Safety filter.
On.
You get a whole bunch of pixelated pictures.
Huh.
What is it?
Nothing. It's one of those things where it's like sort of a website, so it has just a bunch of
You
like
wanna buy this
hyperlinks
domain?
to things that might be. Yes. Can we get old.com?
Can we get old.com?
Let's go to GoDaddy and see how much this thing costs.
Or should we try to get old2.com?
Oh, it says it's taken. By who?
In case he wants to make a sequel to that awful movie.
Old 2, even older?
Where maybe she'll get pregnant even younger.
I hate M.
At
Night Shyamalan,
like
guys.
4 or 5. For anyone, which I would assume is a majority of the people that haven't seen the movie Old by our buddy M. Night Shyamalan, Shamalama Ding Dong, they are on. It turns out that they're part of a government experiment. They go through this canyon onto this beach, but when they go through the canyon, they're like traveling through a portal that ages you super fast. And so the movie starts out and there's these 2 children and they're like, I don't know, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, something like that. And they have like little schoolgirl crushes on each other. But then somewhere through the movie, they start aging. Keep in mind, they're 8 or 9. And then they just have sex and she ends up pregnant. And the baby grows at like a super rate. And then all of a sudden, this 8 or 9-year-old in the body of a, I don't know, 14, 15-year-old is giving birth on this beach to this baby. And it is just one of the worst movies I have seen in a long time. And I do not recommend, because I just gave you all the plot points, and if that still appeals to you, then maybe
Seek
instead of seeing a
therapy.
movie, see a therapist.
All right, we're just gonna make up for the couple episodes that I spent not dogging on M. Night Shyamalan.
We're here for it.
It's a pun intended split of the like watchable movies, because like Sixth Sense and Signs were good. Split was really good. Unbreakable was fine. But like Old, Knock at the Cabin.
I forgot about Knock at the Cabin.
Where the plot twist was there was no plot twist.
Yeah.
That's not a point against him. It was just like oh, well, the world actually was going to end.
The Village.
Didn't watch it. That's the Wahlberg one? What am I thinking of?
No, you're thinking of
The Mist?
The Trees. It's,
the Trees, yeah.
The Happening.
Happening.
Devil was decent. Where they're in the elevator.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that was him.
Mm-hmm. You know what was not good at all?
What?
What was it called? The movie with his daughter.
Trap.
Trap was crap.
Thought it was fine.
Watchers
It was okay.
was dumb. Caddo Lake is a movie that went straight to Max. Actually pretty good.
Okay.
There's a good twist in it. That's a good one. If you need to get your M. Night fix.
If you need to get your M. Night fix, go to therapy.
I do appreciate the fact that he resurrected Josh Hartnett, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he doing things now, or did he
he's
do
got
the one thing?
He's got another movie coming out next week.
Oh, he does? Nice.
Where he's bleach blonde.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's an assassin or something. Fight or Flight. Yeah, he looks
Okay.
like Slim Shady. Another icon of the
That's
90s.
A choice, yeah. Another icon of the 90s. Also from the 90s that's making a comeback, Mission Impossible. They're making their quote-unquote last one this year.
We'll see.
Next year.
I don't think it's going to fully be over until...
Spaceship Beep Boop Let's Home be returned to the Thetans.
Takes him back to Xenu or whatever, yeah.
How many times do we have to mention them before we get stalked? Because I would like to be on the right side of that line.
I mean, they can stalk us.
Yeah.
Upside,
More listeners.
we get more listeners.
Yeah.
Downside,
Everything else.
everything else, yeah. Elizabeth Moss is going to start coming after us.
Ugh.
But then we just throw Danny Masterson in their face.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of clips from The Ranch on Netflix. I think I watched like half the first season.
It's a really good show.
The clips I've seen are pretty good, but I don't know if I could get past the Danny Masterson-ness of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not like cancel guy, but he's just got he's got an aura that I don't like.
That's fair.
About him. We've been rewatching Raising Hope.
Yeah.
And he's in an episode of it.
Okay.
In like an alternate reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just felt weird seeing him.
I really liked The Ranch when it was on. I thought that him and Kutcher played really well together. Like as their more like, I guess, grown up selves.
Mm-hmm.
But even Kutcher now is
mm-hmm.
optimistically a little dicey. Now that all the stuff's come out with not only Masterson but all the Diddy stuff, and there's a lot of bad aura around that show.
And then him and Kunis trying to evacuate the country as soon as Diddy got popped.
Yeah, that's
not a good look.
It's not a good look. Yeah, that 70s show was such a big part of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks so much that I can't watch it, and just like everything about that show is weird now in context. Because Valderrama's weird and problematic. Kutcher is weird and problematic. Masterson is a criminal. Kunis is not necessarily on the chopping block, but she's at least been an accessory to some weird shit.
Yeah. What about the Toph man?
It's so interesting the way that he was always like kind of the outcast of the group because he didn't like do things with the rest of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And now we maybe know why.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just the one like
with his head screwed on right.
Well-adjusted one of them.
Yeah, because even Laura Prepon has her stuff too. Speaking of Topher and Wahlberg, they were just in the movie Flight Plan? No. Flight Risk? No. I don't know. They were just in the movie where they were in a plane. And someone along the line I think it was Marky Mark, made the decision to go bald to make himself look even more unhinged than his character actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very jarring to see him bald. But it was a pretty good movie. And then at the end, the credits start rolling, director Mel Gibson. POC 2. You gonna buy your ticket early? Make sure you get a good seat. The Resurrect. The Resi. POC 2, the Resi.
You know what? I'm going to make as much of an effort to see POC 2 as I made to see Sound of Freedom.
I saw Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
It was something. It definitely had that, what's his name? Kirk Cameron vibe to it. Like a Left Below.
Yeah.
Is it Left Below or Left Behind? One of them is a Simpsons parody. The other one is an actual thing.
Left Behind.
But I think both of them have about the same amount of seriousness.
I could see that.
So we check everything off your list except for technology?
Clothes. Add fashion on here.
Oh.
It kind of plays also more into like the music side of things that influenced a lot more of where fashion was. So like in the early 2000s or early 90s, you get the more of the grunge look. So like the baggy stuff, the flannels, the I don't care kind of outfits.
The reasonably baggy.
Sure.
Because towards the end
Then
of
you
the
get
90s,
the juggalos.
then you get the Jinkos that had pockets that went all the way down to your ankles.
I cannot tell you how badly I want to try on a pair of Jinkos. Not because I want to like regularly wear them. I don't think I could.
They have them.
I'll die with my skinny jeans, but like I just want to try a pair on. I want to know what it's like to be in Jinko jeans.
It's funny because you would see all this stuff about all the things that you could fit in your Jinkos, and people would pull out like entire CD players and entire just all this stuff out of these cargo jeans.
Yeah. I think I might be a cargo pants person someday.
Oh man,
What?
they're pricey.
How much are Jinko jeans?
$260.
Oh my god.
Cheapest ones on here from their actual website, $130.
Can you buy them in a store? Or can you only get them on the Jinko website? Because I would like to try a pair on.
Let's find out. Where to buy?
While you're doing that, you also get in the early 90s, you got more of that like 80s leftover stuff. So you get the like, what I would think of as like the water cup aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah, I just saw it was like maybe like 6 months ago. I saw that there was an actual name for it.
I found a pair of workout shorts a little while ago that were with that print, and I want them so bad. They were expensive because, you know, nostalgia is expensive, but...
Oh, Jazz. The design is called Jazz.
Oh, okay.
This?
Yes.
Yeah, Jazz. And it's just scribbles.
It's just crayon scribbles that ruled the 90s.
Everywhere. The whole aesthetic of a Taco Bell was Jazz. The design, not the music.
I'm pretty sure this color scheme inspired the Baja Blast.
The original Jinko jeans, the original wide leg jeans. Well, they're based out of LA, so you might be able to try some there.
I don't think I'm willing to make a trip
pilgrimage.
out to LA just for...
Hey, cemeteries and Jinko. Because you were talking about wanting to go to the cemeteries.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Cemeteries and Jinko.
Or maybe Buckle or Urban Outfitters. Unconfirmed.
Ugh, you have to go to a Buckle or an Urban Outfitters. That's fine, I guess. But yeah, workout shorts. They have pockets. They just look so fun.
That'd be worth it.
They do sell every article of clothing with this specific pattern, so I might eventually just get an entire outfit
wardrobe.
that's just Jazz. Oh, God, no, that's gross. Why would you put the design that direction? The Jazz goes, like, straight down the crotch.
Just points right at it. Look at this Jazz.
Damn, that's a terrible choice. But yeah, so you get the baggy, reasonably baggy things.
Mm-hmm.
You get flannels, grunge.
Yeah, we talked about the Kangol hats.
And the...
LL Cool J. His Newsies backward hat.
I think I maybe don't know what a newsie is. Because that just looked like the same.
I mean, did you actually see it on a... You need to pull up a picture of LL Cool J from the 90s. But then you also have the buckle hat.
Not
the buckle hat.
Like
the bucket. I meant the bucket hat.
Which 90s are we talking about?
We're talking about the 1790s.
I only see this man in bucket hats. What?
Like these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a Kangol. I mean, apparently they also made his bucket hat, but they were more known for the other style.
I associate that with
like when you say Kangol, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the bucket hat.
Spike Lee. I associate that hat with Spike Lee.
Yeah, same thing.
So in the late 90s, you get the like Y2K inspired fashion, all of the pop princess kind of stuff. So you get like crop tops and the butterfly clips and all of the sparkly things.
The chokers.
Yeah. That's also a thing that I think it made its comeback and it's gone now, but it's one of the trends that I'm sticking with forever. Well, not forever, but...
A choker?
I like chokers. The That's when you get like the MTV kind of like inspiration for all of the fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was, like, I know that MTV was big in the, like, it was real big in the 80s, but I think that its, like, actual heyday was, like, right at the end of the 90s. And then after that is when it started its pretty rapid decline.
Yeah.
And then everything turned to just being reality shows.
Yeah.
All the 16 Pregnants, the Teen Moms, the Pimp My Ride,
Does MTV
all that
still
stuff.
do things?
It's all reality shows now. I mean, I'm sure if you catch it at like 6 in the morning, you would get like actual music videos.
Yeah.
But like, I can't tell you the last time that I saw an actual like well thought out music video. So I don't know what their block is. It's a lot of ridiculousness. That's like
Okay.
that's like 80% of their block is just ridiculousness episodes.
Yeah.
And then Pimp My Ride, and they tried like teenage drama type stuff, like
Awkward.
yeah. And Bo Burnham had a show for
Was that MTV?
yeah,
Zach Stone, right?
yeah, something like that. That lasted like a grand total of 3 episodes.
Tragic.
But I remember like getting ready for school in the early 2000s, and I would put MTV on, see a bunch of music videos. I remember one that I don't know why this is burned in my brain, but every single morning was Believe by Cher. Every morning getting ready was Believe by Cher.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the song.
Do you believe? Does that ring a bell?
The queen of auto-tune, yes.
So I think that I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about most was the aspect of technology. Because do you remember a time where computers didn't exist?
No.
Like,
I mean,
like where we didn't have a computer at the home and you could just get onto the internet, even though it was garbage. I mean, it took forever, but do you remember a time like that?
No. I remember it not being like a big thing in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know we had it, but it wasn't like a thing that ruled our entire existences. But I couldn't tell you a time that it just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. No, our dad was very technology forward and still is. And I got a lot of that from him. One swing and a miss was he backed HD DVDs over Blu-ray. But for the most part, he's been pretty
Big whiff.
He's been pretty with it as far as technology stuff goes. So we had a computer growing up, but I don't remember. I mean, I remember a time where I just couldn't get on the internet.
Yeah.
And like being on the computer just meant like you were doing, I don't know, like tax stuff like that. Like not anything for any fun purposes.
I was watching a video about like it was a deep dive into like 90s culture and stuff, and I don't know if this is true, but it's really interesting to me that they were talking about the reason that early computers before they did like the 90s like clear funky looking ones, that earlier computers were beige because they expected like everyone to be smoking, and beige took like tobacco stains well. It didn't really like stain it as easily, so they just went with everything was like that same shade of bleh. Until Mac decided to think differently.
Growing up, how much of your childhood did you spend like outside and not on a screen or not doing anything like that?
I got a phone, I think, when I was like 13, maybe. That's when I like remember getting a phone.
Mm-hmm. What kind of phone was it?
I had the Nokia. It wasn't like the original brick, but it was something similar, just a little bit more.
Oh, just like was it prepaid? Or was it like on a plan?
It was on a plan, yeah.
Same phone number?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I had technically it was like internet capable, but I didn't have internet.
Mm-hmm.
So like it would have a button that I would panic back out of so that it didn't
Didn't
charge
charge you $15.
didn't charge me to look anything up. I'm still adamant that one of these days I'm gonna get a flip phone. I'm gonna keep saying it until I speak it into existence because I am acutely aware of how much time I spend on my phone.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer.
I mean, all we need is Ridge or Factor or what's that one that was a huge scam? The Ireland
You have to
one.
be a lot more specific. Oh, the buy a plot to become a lord or lady?
Yeah. Something titles.
Established titles.
Established titles. Yeah. Maybe
I'd be
not
willing to
them.
get sponsored by them at this point.
But once that comes through, then we're gonna do our flip phone test.
They came out with a, I think it's an HMD phone. So it's like one of the Japanese brands or Chinese brands. And it is a Barbie phone. So it's like hot pink. It's so cute. I think that's the one I want to go with.
Okay.
We do this because it's connected to the internet, sort of. So like you can access it for necessities and stuff, but not for doom scrolling, which is awesome.
But are you behind the Great Wall? The Great Firewall?
Maybe. I'm okay with it. But look it.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a pink jitterbug, if I'm being honest. But
It does,
I love
yeah.
it. But yeah, you can access, I think it connects to like Spotify and Google Maps. And honestly, that's all I need internet-wise.
But it's interesting that I asked if you remember spending time outside, and then you immediately jumped to, well, I got my first phone when I was like, 13.
Well, before that, I mean, I would have spent a lot of time outside.
But do you like remember it? Like you could just be gone for most of the day? Because I vividly remember it and all the shenanigans I got into.
Quite honestly, I don't remember a ton from my youth.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to open up old wounds.
Oh, it's fine. I just don't have anything to contribute to that part of the conversation, so I want my phone.
But no, I vividly remember when I wasn't glued to any kind of device, and I mean those days are long gone.
Yeah.
But I definitely miss them, and I regret that my kids aren't going to have that experience.
Sure.
We were at a hibachi restaurant last night, and for those who don't know, it's dinner and a show. Mm-hmm. Like you have a chef come out and they do like this whole song and dance while they're making your food for you and whatever strangers are sitting at the same grill as you. And we like catty corner to us is this mom and her 2 kids, and she is on her phone while she's setting up a tablet, and one of the kids already has a tablet.
Yeah.
And so the whole time these 2 kids are on these tablets, she's on the phone, and this chef is like trying to get their attention, and he's like doing this whole thing. He got like this flashlight out and did like this whole nightclub thing with the onion volcano. Okay. And he had to shine the light in the kid's face to get his attention while he's doing this. And that drives me so crazy. And that's one of the things that I decided from the very beginning, like as soon as my kids were born, like meals are important.
Right.
Like some of the best conversations I've had with my kids when it was just me and them was when we were just at a restaurant. Yeah. Like, hey, how's your day been? What do you want to talk about? And now it's getting more and more to where, can I have my tablet? No, you can't have your tablet. And it's just, they always have to be glued to a screen. It doesn't help that at school, they also stare at a tablet all day. Yeah. And I remember whenever I was in school, when I was in elementary school, like it was a big deal when we went to the computer lab. It happened like once a week. Mm-hmm. We had those transparent, like all-in-one Macs, like colorful ones. And like that was cool when we got to do that, but I didn't expect to get it every single day. Right. And I knew that was just the time that I could look forward to it. And then after that, I would go about my business and wait till the next week till we went back. And it sucks that they're born into a world where this addiction is already there. Yeah. And so I try to make conscious efforts to alleviate that, but I'm constantly fighting an uphill battle, and they end up pissed. And I don't blame them because it's all they've known. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that And I mean, a lot of this is going to tie into the next episode, spoiler alert, but um, it's just a completely different world from when I was growing up to when you were born to you being born to when your nieces and nephew were born.
Yeah.
And just the fact that mom, dad, nobody had any problem with me. I could stay out from 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, and there wasn't ever any concern.
Yeah.
Like I would be back, and if for whatever reason something happened, I always knew I could contact them, but I didn't have to. It wasn't expected.
Right.
Like I could stay out with my friends and just go do whatever. But that's not a world that we live in anymore, and it's not something now. If you were to do that, then you're going to have CPS knocking on your door.
Right.
And so I think that I have a lot of nostalgia for the 90s, and I think that's why this episode has gone on so long, is because of how important that decade was to me and just how much I miss. And a lot of it is probably just going back with rose-colored glasses. I mean, there was definitely a lot of garbage going on, but you don't see that, or you don't. That's not the part you remember. You look back and you think about all the good times and how those times don't exist anymore.
Sure. I don't feel like I have nostalgia for what would have been like my version of that time period. Like I don't think I have like that deep kind of nostalgia for like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think that things have changed so rapidly that there was never really a thing to cling on to. Because if you think about like the trajectory of technology and stuff, whenever like the internet kind of hit its stride in like the mid 90s, everything past that has moved so quickly that there's both too much and not enough to be nostalgic for.
Yeah.
And so like I think that's one of the tougher things about being Gen Z, is that like you have these memories of all of these things, and like you're kind of nostalgic for them, but they also don't feel like they existed in a time. They were just like this nebulous thing that existed as a transition between things. You never got to like stop and enjoy something because it was always replaced within kind of a ridiculous immediacy.
Nothing has any staying power.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that came along with the internet, because before, like, something would happen and it would have to be word of mouth.
Yeah.
And so that would give it sustained longevity, instead of, oh, well, I just found out about this thing, but then 2 seconds later you find out about a new thing.
Right.
Or you find out about this thing, oh, but there's a better thing, and then, oh, there's another better thing. And you're just constantly trying to just keep up, instead of just taking what you have and enjoying what you have. It's just always, well, there's something better that exists now. And nothing has any staying power anymore. There's nothing I can think of from the past 15 years that you look back fondly of. Like you even got like movies that were great, but then 5 years goes along and, oh, well, we have a problem with this movie because of this, and this. So now you can't talk about that movie anymore.
Right.
Music. Oh, well, yeah, but they stole this from this person. And even though you enjoyed it, this is why you shouldn't enjoy it anymore.
Back to art versus the artist.
Yeah. And it's extremely frustrating to be in that kind of a situation. And it's not, I have gotten to a point where I don't care. Like, I like what I like, and I'm going to talk about the things I like. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of stuff that someone else may like that I don't, and I don't understand, and that's okay. But more recently, there's been such a rush for everyone to have this homogenous opinion on everything, and if you don't have that opinion, then you're just going to be publicly castrated. And it's something that I'm sure happened in the 90s, but I wasn't privy to, and therefore I am able to look back at that time and say this was peak for me.
Yeah. Do you think that was because you were just too young to have that kind of like worldly sense about you? So you missed that kind of like naivete? I
think that was part of it. I think that I definitely didn't understand all the ramifications of everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember if it was on this go around or the last go around about the Clinton stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was a big deal, but everything that got trickled down to me was just the joke aspect of it.
Sure.
Was the stain on the dress, was the stupid lines covering up what he did when he was asked about it. And so I do think that a lot of it was based on naivete on my part, but at the same time, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that maybe we should have a little more of that,
I wholeheartedly agree.
and that maybe don't take everything so seriously. Maybe don't spend so much time with your nose in the blinds and just enjoy what you got.
Yeah.
So that is my tirade for this episode. You got anything else?
No, that was all I had for this episode. Any closing words? All right. Well, my send-off words are be all that and a bag of chips today.
That's a good one.
What do you got?
I love the 90s. I don't know if I would go back if I could, but I can tell you that the 2020s have been wiggity wiggity whack. And on that note,
And we're out.
we'll see you next time. And if you could, it would greatly help us out if you follow us on Instagram at Cash Exchange Podcast, Twitter at Cash Exchange Pod, and if you could, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music.